Welcome to lecture notes 6-3A. We're going to solve quadratic equations by factoring. We have two problems. You can see here we got a trinomial. It's quadratic because of the x squared. What we want to do is factor. Two of the methods with trinomials that we're going to probably use are GCF and the AC method, diamond method. It goes under many names. First thing, we want to make sure it's in degree order with the quadratic first, and we want it equal to 0 because that's what we want to find. The zeros, the roots, are the solution. I notice here that the A, the B, and the C can be GCF by a 5. So I'm going to take out a 5 and divide each one of these by 5, which will result in x squared minus x minus 12 is equal to 0. All right, I'm going to focus in inside the parentheses with my trinomial, and I can go ahead and factor that. I can use a few methods. I can use the AC method or the diamond method, where I go A times C and I get a negative 12. I take the B and I take a negative 1. I look for factors of 12 that also, when I combine them, will give me a negative 1. And I got 3 and negative 4. All right, I'm done here, so I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this with two binomials, making sure I keep the 5 because it's part of the problem. Here's my two binomials. My A is equal to 1, so I can ignore anything about that and just split the x's. I'll put the plus 3 and the minus 4 here equal to 0. You can see we're almost done here. What we're really looking for is what x would make this 0, and which would make the whole problem 0, or what x would make this 0, and because of multiplication it would make it 0. So since these are the only two terms of these three terms that we have here, I'm going to set each one equal to 0 and solve. So I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides, and I get x is equal to negative 3. I add 4 to both sides, and I get x is equal to 4. And those are our roots, a negative 3 and a 4. Our next problem, you can see it's x squared plus 9 is equal to 6x. It's not equal to 0, so I'm going to go ahead and subtract the 6x from both sides. All right, what happens there is that I have to do a few things. I have to make sure that my quadratic is first, and the next term in the next degree is negative 6x, and then I'm going to put the plus 9, and because these cancel out, I'm equal to 0. Now I notice I have my trinomial here, quadratic. It's all in degree order. Right here the A is equal to 1. There's no GCF, so I'm going to go ahead and quickly factor using the AC or the diamond method. I'll go 1 times 9 is 9. Negative 6 is my B, so I put it here. I find two factors of 9 that also combine equal negative 6, and that would be a negative 3 and a negative 3. I'll go ahead and set up my two binomials equal to 0. Since A is equal to 1 here, I'll just go ahead and split the x's. I'll go ahead and put these two factors that I found. Once again, we're looking for the zeros or the roots. What x can I put here that'll make this 0? And because of multiplication, the whole thing would be 0. So I'm going to go ahead and set that equal to 0. Using that same concept, I'm going to try to find the x that'll make that equal to 0. I'm going to go ahead and add 3. And that's what I get on both sides. I add 3 on both sides, and my answer is 3. Notice that we didn't put both 3's down, and this is what we call a double root.